Yeah, hi hello everyone. Welcome to the next session of Java development. So, as part of our previous session, we have discussed about basic structure of Java program. That is, it starts with a class and containing main main method, like the default one, which will start directly. So, for that, the syntax would be like this. We have to write a class name, class, and then followed by a class name, and then we have to open and close curly brace, and within that we need to provide the main method over there. That is what we have seen, and this code we can write by downloading Java software. Then we can able to write there, or without that we can even use online compiler also just for cross checking and all. Also, we have discussed about concept like variable. Variable is nothing but it's a placeholder or something like within a program. Within a program, if you want to store some data for temporary purpose, we use variable. It acts like a placeholder where we do store the data. When you're talking about storing the data for temporary or whatever the purpose, there different kind of data is available. We need to store them like numbers, uh, string values, different characters we have to store. So depending on that, what kind of data we have to store, it is specified with the help of data type. When we talk about the data types in Java, we have several data types like primitive or primary data types are there. Some other category also there, non-primitive. We talk about non-primitive later. First, primitive data types, main primitive data types. In that we do have eight types, total eight types data types are there. And depending on the style, like number type, we have character type and boolean. Boolean also, I told you about boolean. Whenever there is a yes or no kind of answers, like true or false, such data, such type we store in the boolean. Characters are something like single character. Whenever you want to store single character, we do that. Next, with when you talk about numbers with the decimal point, without the decimal point. Without decimal point, pure numbers if you want, then byte is short into long. So what is it is about is simple, same. If you want small number, byte. If you want big number, short next into next to long. So in that category, long is the largest one in terms of storing the numbers. Means long numbers it will store largest numbers. Byte is the small one. Next, with the decimal point, we have two categories like a float and a double. Both are actually used for storing the decimal point, fractional numbers only. The difference is here. Here also same story. Float will store some kind of data decimal point, but a double will store more. Example, maybe like example I'm telling, like you may have something like 25.50 or something like that. Such kind of data you can store in the float and all. But if you have something like 19867 like 0.1934 something like that, if it is very big and all, then you may not store that in the float. Then you need something like double, right? So okay, before we proceed further, I hope you guys are able to see my screen and you're able to hear my voice properly. Just give me the confirmation, one of you. Kavya, Vijaya. Yeah. So when you're talking about the variables and all, three things will be there always related with the variables. Variables are something which will vary throughout the program. Those values might be varying. So, but first thing we have to declare them and then we have to use them. So declaration is nothing but we have to tell the data type, space, and the variable name. That is called what declaration. Next is called initialization phase. Whenever we give value to a variable for the first time, it is called as initialization. Most of the times initialization and declaration step people do together. So this left side int a, there is equal to symbol, no, left side int a, that is called declaration. Right side some value you are giving, right? That like initialization. So together will be there. Next, like assigning the value means you can change the value of that particular variable later. First time is initialization. Second time onwards, if you are modifying the value of that particular variable, it is nothing but assignment. So this is what about a variable is about. And now Already yesterday we talked about this, right? Online, this one, compiler. You can write any name here. Now you like to use those data types now, variables now. Int something like that we can able to declare here. I'm declaring something like this, int a, int b equal to something like this. I'm declaring now, int a, int b. Now we can declare one more like double. What I'm writing here, price. I'm declaring something called grade. You can declare or score, something like that. A will be there, no? Grade or score, something like marks, whatever it is. Or you can even have section. As in school, you have different sections, right? A section, B section, something like that. You can do this. So section is what type? Character type, which will store any character over there, right? Yeah. Like this, you can have any, different things here. Applied insurance, you can have boolean type, true or false. You can able to write it. Now to print them here, whatever the value you want to print here, I have written something like A. Now it should print A. A value it should print. What is the A value? 20. If I write D, then it will print B value. It's printing 24, right? If I print price value, and it's printing yes, right? If I which one? Yeah, we'll write that. That is what I want to say. I will tell now. Yeah. So section also getting printed. Now some other price. This one, okay. What I have written? Float I have written, right? I want to print a price to run. Hmm? Here, right? Close this and run this. What happened? Error. Incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from double to float. Double to float. The problem is here the declaration style, that is whenever we give anything, right side whatever we give is value, left side we write is data type and variable name, right? Obviously, whenever we are giving that value to the right side, whenever we write normal decimal point, irrespective of the number size, if you write some decimal point, then it will consider like double. The value is considering like a double. So you are trying to store double value in float. That's why it is telling error. Understood? So problem is, if you write small number, big number does not matter. If you write point something like that, then it will think it like a double value. But you are storing it into float value. That's why it is giving the error. So to avoid that, we use something different here. What I have used? Yes. You write whatever the number you want, you write after that, you write F. Clear? Save, price printed. See, when printing, it will not consider F. That F indicates that it's float type. That's it. When we are giving the value to the float, we have to write F. F is called literal. What it is called? Literal. Literal, to be specific, we say it like float literal. It is called what? Float literal. You can write capital F or small f, both are allowed. What actually it will do is, problem is, if you write any why float and double are used for decimal storage, right? If you write any value with a decimal point, default it will consider like a double. So if you write float value, it will throw the error. So that's the reason, whenever we do write this, what we have to do here is, you simply have to put f at the end of the value, whatever the value you actually write, at the end of that, what we have to do? We have to write simply f. Then it will not here. See, who is bigger? Which is bigger? Double is bigger. So flow earlier, if I don't write anything, what is the meaning of that here? Here, what now it will be error. I hope you understood now. Float is smaller, right? Double is bigger. If you don't write anything, value is double. Double if you are trying to store into the float, problem. But float you can trying into store into the double, no problem. Smaller values you can store in the bigger things, but bigger values you cannot fit into the smaller things. I hope you got it clear. So that's a problem here. Now I want to store one more phone number. And phone number I want to store, and I want to print that phone number here. Save and run. Integer number too large. The capacity of integer is small, but we have given 10 digits here. Got it? What I'm telling. It purely depends on the capacity. If you are having big numbers, we have to use long. That's the problem. Now load. Again error, right? This time it is not showing. Okay, what error it is? Integer to number to large and all. Okay, problem is you have written long, but here you have to say that actually. What I have written? L. Why it is simple variable? Okay. Here, right? Okay, okay. Earlier error was there in the 10th line, that's why it did not go to 12th line. Now 10th line fine. Now 12th line, yeah, it's printing. So this literal will be there in primitive data types only for two things, float and long. That's it. All other things directly you can store. But if you want to store any data, especially the decimal data, only in float, then use F. Double, no problem, directly you can use. Coming to the long, if you are having a requirement to store large numbers, then we have to use data type long. While you are when you are using large numbers, you have to put L. L as a literal. So L is also one of the literals available in primitive data types. What is that literal? L. And this is called long literal. That is called float literal. This is called what? Long literal. Clear? This way we will be doing that. That's it again. Here if I write int, then again it will be problem, I think. Yeah. See, incompatible type, same possible lossy conversion from long to int. Long is a bigger one, you are trying to fit it into the smaller one, it will not allow. Clear? Now here what I am writing? Huh? Long. Okay, here okay, fine. Long. Here, what I am writing? Long. No error. 20 is a small number. You can fit into the long, no problem. But if it is a larger number, if you are trying to fit into the smaller data type, it will throw error. So not only that, we have something like byte, no? Byte, okay. Here, this only will be on it. Here only I will write, okay. Byte, a value, 20, okay. Here, on it, no problem. Actually, this will print phone number, fine. But here only if you have any error, then it will show that, right? And even if you wish, you can print also extra if you want. Actually, the problem is this online compiler, right? Sometimes what happens, it will give in the new line. Sometimes it will do that, but in our it will not. Clear? If I do here, what is happening is something program is dot com, something is them that has to take your data. They have to run in their server. Then they have to show output to you. This much process is there. But in your computer, directly you write the code and compile the code and see the output. Okay, fine. Now, what we are doing here? Hmm. Byte. Okay, it worked. Now, how much I am writing? 200. So byte capability is not that much. Byte is smaller one because that is the starting one, right? 128 also it is not storing, right? Now how much I have written? 120. Now I hope you got the limit. So that much only you can able to store in byte. Short. Understood, right? It's working now, right? It's taking. Now yeah. So 768 it is not taking. Now I am writing 7. Taking. So that is the limit of that. Clear? So actually it is 32767. Minus also included. Integers will store negative numbers and positive. So negative also same story from 0 to below same minus up to 3 to 6 7 6 8 7 6 8 it will take one number extra positive 7 6 byte 127 highest minus 1 120 that's it. Mm, okay, int is something maybe some bigger one, bigger number will be there. Okay, whatever it is, actually it is storing in terms of bytes. Data always stored in terms of bytes. So byte is storing 1 byte data. I think short is storing 2 byte data. Integer default storing 4 byte data. Something like that will be there. So how many bytes you are using as per that, and you will be having the size. Clear? Okay, fine, whatever it is. But most of the times we don't use short and internal because short and byte. We always use intone because for who will remember that 127 more than that and so normal numbers whatever we use daily are integers. Only in specific case if you have these things like phone numbers or any transaction numbers. You know transaction numbers. Some big numbers will be there sometimes. Any phone number, any transaction number. If you really specifically want to store, then only we use long. Other in other cases, whenever you are dealing with numbers, we use int. Next is like float also same. Whenever you specifically want to mention, f will be mentioned, but normally people use double only. They will write the data what like decimal point, then they'll be using something like double. So now that's it. This is about your data types, primitive data types. 8 data types are there primitive. You can check this as well, no problem here. Something like here you write any name for variable. Here I have written is applied. Is applied means yes or no will be there. Value you can write actually true false will be there. Value will be true or false will be there. Now say it's no problem, and you wanna see that you can able to right. You should change this then it will be See, first line, one line only it is coming output. Same I am running. That's what I do. It's online compile sometimes attach. Only this problem is with standard dot operator. Other things it will logically it will show correct only, but while printing only sometimes it do like this. Now here I am declaring, but not giving any value. Just I am declaring the value, but not giving any value. Variable is applied might have not been initialized, so we need to initialize. Actually, if you don't print, no problem. Here I am stopping this. Syntax wise, this is correct only. But what is this you are doing? Earlier, what we did, now I stopped it. I commented, means it's not working. I'm trying to print it, means I'm trying to access it. You are trying to access a variable which is not initialized, so you cannot access that. What the meaning of initialization? First, you have to declare, then you have to give the value, right? Declaration you did, okay, maybe after some time you might initialize it. It will wait. It will not throw error here. But if you're trying to access without initialization, then it will be error, right? So this is about your understanding about what we select now, all primitive data types, 8 primitive data types. Clear? So I think I've already mentioned with you guys that there will be
So can you,
fundamental. Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
yeah, can you repeat that Boolean thing
So, Boolean.
is applied?
Uh,
Yeah.
so when you talk about Boolean, yeah, generally Boolean will have two values that would be either false or true. If you have data like numbers, decimal points, and all, we have other
Yes.
data types to store with. Single character,
Okay.
this one like that we can. But if you have anything to be stored, either yes or no kind of thing, then we call that data type as Boolean data type, and the values we write is true or false. Clear, Srilekha?
Yes.
Yeah. So nothing much. Just that purely depends on your requirement. Whenever you have the
No,
requirement to
no,
store,
that Boolean I understood. How to write this in that syntax I did not get actually.
other one you understood,
Yeah. See, I
other
understood
data.
what is Boolean.
Uh,
This syntax I did not, is Boolean applied? This syntax thing I did not understand.
no, it's a variable name. Just a variable name. You can write any variable name here. Okay, boolean abc equal to true. That's it. Here I can able to print abc. Simple, just a variable name. You can write any valid variable name. Yeah. Now it's printing true. Yeah. I hope you got it. Clear now? Hello.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. So that is just one variable name. But why I have written is applied, because if you say normal salary double, you know already. Name means some values, characters will be that people will be knowing, right? Price means some points, numbers will be people will be knowing. But your answer this time should be either true or false, right? Instead of having
Yeah.
normal name, is applied. Is applied answer will be either true or false. So
False.
that's why I've written like that. Clear?
Yeah, yeah.
It is nothing to do technically, just the name. So
Okay, sir.
now, yeah, yeah, fine. Yeah, so that's it. With this, we are done with the concept of what variables and data types, both variables and data types. I think I've already mentioned, or now also you can understand that when you talk about the fundamentals of programming, or we say like programming fundamentals, so in that two concepts are there which are vital to any programming languages. Can be anything, may not be Java or any programming language. There are few things very important: variables and data types. Now conditions or conditional statements we say. Next we have something like arrays. Next we have something like functions. Before that we have something like operators. We have loops. Then functions. So yeah, that's it. These we have other also, but few things you might observe in some language. Some language you may not observe. Except example is like object-oriented concepts are there in Java, maybe in Python, but they are not there in C language. But these are the ones which will be there in every programming language, and these are very important for any programming language. One should be very good with these things. Using this only, will be developing the logics. All other things are just helpful to create the data structures in different way, data in different way. But the main logics are implemented with this. So we have to be good with this. So in this already we are done with the what variables and data types in Java. Right. Now we are going to see something like conditions. Generally, without conditions, we don't find any real-time programming. Let's say example, Facebook. Facebook is the application that is a obviously program, right? Some program is there, right? Behind that, no program is running. Facebook is running means behind that some program is happening. Same case with Gmail. You enter username and password for Gmail. Gmail, click the sign in button, enter username and password, and then click sign in. Then what will happen? If you enter correct username password, then one home page, your Gmail home page will open. If you enter wrong username password, error, right? That is called condition. Clear? Condition means checking. Condition is like what? Checking. Validation. Checking. So that checking can be done depending on your application and also that to what activity depends on the activity. Login you are checking. So what it will check in the login? Username, password correct or not? It will be checking. Clear? So without checking, there will be no real-time program. Got it? Go to ATM machine. ATM machine is also a software. ATM machine is also a software, right? Obviously. What the first thing you will take your card, debit card, and you will insert in that slot. Then it will ask you to please enter your PIN number. Then you have to enter the PIN number. First thing is condition checking only will happen there. Enter correct PIN, then you will be allowed to withdraw money or other activities, balance checking and all. You enter wrong PIN, then it will be telling a message like password is pin is incorrect, pin is incorrect something. So that is what condition is about. Clear? So what I want to say is without a condition concept there will be no real time program at all. Any program you take, anything you take, that will be there. Have you ever called to customer care from your phone in your life? Yes, right. What will happen first? If you call directly, call will go to person? No, right? First one other system voice will come, right? There it will ask you to please press 1 for your balance details, press 2 for your offers, press 3, something like that. Language selection next, plus something they'll plus 8 for connecting to customer care representative, press 9 for getting back to the main menu. You observe those things, right? If you press something, what you press is checked. I repeat, if you're pressing some number, behind the scenes everything is programs. Behind the scenes what happens is if you press 4, it will check what you are pressing. If it is 4, then something will happen. If it is 8, something will happen. If you enter something something different which they did not give, assume they gave options like 1 no 2 4 8. If you enter 5, then they will tell that also they will check and they will tell like please enter the valid option. You remember that? That's right. We work like that, right? Yeah. So that is called what condition checking. Example I am telling, some raw examples I am telling, but there are several areas we write programming. In any of the program, at any stage, we have that activity to check the things. Something is correct or not, something is above the number or not, something is below the number. Anything we have to check it. Clear? You're going to withdraw money from ATM. You cannot withdraw how much ever you want, right? How much you have, As per that only you have to withdraw. That is also condition checking. I hope you got my point. Clear? That means everywhere, main mode, programming, whatever you are dealing with, some are the other way, some are the other place. You have to check that. So that means condition will be there. So when you talk about the conditions, there are different ways actually we can implement the conditions. Something like we have if other name for this is simple if, people call this simple if. When we use this is whenever there is a requirement for us to check one condition. Whenever there is a requirement for us to check one condition means, if the condition is, you have one activity, if the condition is true, then you have to do some activity. In that scenarios we use if. I repeat, whenever we have a requirement to check one condition we use simple if. That is, if the condition is true we have to do some activity, then we will be using something called if. You can write any code, but the syntax will be how to use the keyword. What the keyword? If. So far we use keywords. I don't know whether you remember observed or not. Here int, double, these are okay data type names, but to implement integer data type I used int. Understood? Like that, different data type, but every data type will have a keyword. In this screen, in this particular screen, you can see other than the values, you can see some names. First is there, no, first is in black color. Observe, main is in black color, right? Section is in black color, but public is blue color. Class is, so these are called keywords. These are called keywords. So there are certain keywords available here. Among them is if is also one keyword. Clear? Now you can check the condition here. You can check the condition. So what kind of condition you can check here? You can check like something. A is a variable, assume. If a value is greater than 20, something like this, here you have to write the block. It's called block. Open and close curly braces is called what? Block. In a programming language we call it as a block. You have written it for if, that's why we call it as if block. uh, what we know, to check simple only one condition we use if is simple if that is true, actually one activity will be performed. What is that activity? It can be anything. Clear? Now go there. Here, okay, I'm not executing all this. I will use that if. Okay, so now OK is printed, right? Means that activity is executed. Why? Because when what is there in the simple if, sir? Whenever a condition is true, that activity will be executed. What is the activity? Whatever you write here, the code that will be executed. That is the activity. We don't know what it is. Clear? Something will be there. That activity will be executed. Clear? If it is true, what will happen? Only will tell. Like what if condition will tell is, it will check one condition. If it is true, something will be executed. If it is false, nothing it will do. Clear? Now see example. What I have written? 1000. 1000 is not greater than 20,000, right? Now reload, run it. No error actually. If it is error, it will throw, but nothing is coming because condition is false. Since the condition is false, nothing is coming, right? That is what if will do. Simple if will do. Simple if is used to check one condition, and if it is true, uh, activity will be excluded. If it is false, it will not talk about it at all. That's it. That is called what? Simple if. Next we have if else. This is the first statement, first condition statement. We have next second conditional statement. What is the second conditional statement? We have if else. What if else will do is listen. Most of the people will make mistake here that in if how many conditions are checked means people say one. In if else how many conditions are checked means people say two. But actually it is wrong. In if else also we will check only one condition. Then what is the difference is if it is true we will do one action. If it is false we will do other action. But how many conditions we check? Only one. I hope you understood. Clear? So if else is also used to check one condition only, but here if it is true we do one activity. Which one? If the condition is true we will do one activity, or I say activity one. If it is false we will do other activity, or I say action, whatever it is. Understood? That is the difference between if and if else. So you should not get confused, like should not have the misconception in your mind like if means only one condition, if else means two conditions. What is the meaning of condition? This is called what? Condition. So now how to implement this is very simple. The syntax for if else will be after if block. This is a block, right? After if block is ended, you have to start else block, write else keyword and then write else block over there. Here you write else related information, means what code to be executed in the else we have to mention. So this is activity 1, this is activity 2. So condition is same. How many? One condition only. So if a greater than 20 true, then these lines will be executed. These lines else now same yeah. If it is for
Hello.
yeah. Now what it's printing? not okay, because the condition is false. Now this time I'm increasing the value. Okay. Now reload this. Obviously 42,000 is greater than 20,000, so it is like true. So now it is printing true. Clear? This is called if else. So if is used to check single condition, and it will do one activity if the condition is true. If else is used to check the single condition, it will do one activity if the condition is true, and it will do the other activity if the condition is false. Simple if will not talk about false condition. That is important. If it is false, what to do, it will not say. But if else is something, it will say. If it is false, what to do. If it is true, what to do. Clear? So that's it. This is about if and if else. Clear? So, what we are talked in today's session, we talked exclusively about all data types here, right? All eight data types we have discussed, and we printed them as well. We declare the variables using all different data types, and we access it. Printed means we access the data, and also in that two things are special. F is for float, L is for long. If you want to declare any variables like a float type, then F must be used, else it will think like a double. It will not allow you to convert double into float. Some error will come. Okay, that's the same is the case with the L. If you are trying to, generally if you want to big numbers to be stored in integer, it will not allow. You have to store in the long. But if you write normal number, big number to long, it will not directly take it. It will throw some syntax error. That's the reason end of the value you have to put L, so that it understands like it's a long literal, right? Clear? That's it. So other than that, all other things are normal, common. And if you want to store very less number, byte, small number, 127 is the maximum. Next is like a short, something 32767 is the maximum. Next we have int. But instead of remembering those values, people generally tend to use int. If it is very big numbers to use, like transaction numbers, phone numbers, we have something like 8 digits, 10 digits, 12 digits, account number, bank account number, you will be having like 12 or 14 or 16 digits will, example I'm telling. But more than 12 only will be there. 12 or more than 12 will be there. Such things will be stored in long. So that's it, guys. That's it for the day. So yeah, in tomorrow's session we are going to see all other conditions, and as well as we are going to implement the things inside our computer. So if you are having any doubt regarding today's session, just let me know, guys. If not, if you are clear, just mention like you are clear. Yeah. Okay, guys. In next sessions, we are going to see all other conditions, and also we are going to implement everything in our computer. Then slowly we'll be getting into loops, all other things. So initial days we'll be going with very low pace, because first we have to understand proper concepts, and also the terminology, and as well as this environment, like executing in the browser, executing here. Those things first we have to understand, right? Next we can able to get them. So that's, guys, we'll see rest of the things in the next session. Bye, guys.